How to make a chocolate fat bomb. First, you will need a medium saucepan, a glass bowl, a glass measuring jug, a spatula, a knife and a tablespoon, a meat thermometer, measuring scales, an immersion blender and a chopping board. The ingredients that you will need for 2 servings are 6 egg yolks, 100 ml of water, 200 grams of beef tallow or any fat of your choice, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 5 grams, a pinch of salt, 5 drops of stevia or alternatively xylitol and 1 vanilla pod.
First we add the fat to the bowl. Then we add the water to the bowl. Then we fill up this sink or wash bowl with cold water to use later to cool down the fat bomb. Now we're adding hot water to the saucepan in order to make the water bath. Then we add the bowl to the water bath and we turn the hob on medium heat. Now we cut the vanilla pod in half because you'll only be using half of this recipe. What you need to do is make an incision running through the whole length of the vanilla pod. You want to aim to only cut through the top layer of the pod, trying to leave the bottom intact. Now you cut the end off, and then you use the knife to open up the vanilla pod. While pressing your fingers down on the vanilla pod, you firmly run the knife along the length of the pod to remove the seeds.
You need a plastic bag ready for the egg whites and a jug for the egg yolks. You need to crack the egg over the bag and gently tip the yolk into your hand. The white will slowly separate and fall through your fingers, but you may need to give it a little shake. To fully remove the white, you need to run it under the tap under a gentle stream of water while shaking your hand. It's easier if you hold it closer to the tap, so the water isn't so heavy and there's less chance of the egg yolk breaking. You need to be very, very careful because the egg yolks are so delicate. It's advised to whisk the yolks with a fork. In the meantime, your mixture should have melted. It needs to reach 158 Fahrenheit or 70 degrees Celsius, and you can measure this with your thermometer.
Now the mixture should have reached the right temperature, so you take the bowl off of the heat and you gradually pour small amounts of egg into the mixture. While you do this, you need to blend vigorously and keep blending while the egg is still being poured into the mixture. Now this is quite a slow process and it will take about a minute or so. Once the egg has all gone in, the mixture should turn into a creamy, bubbly liquid.
Once the emulsification has taken place, you need to place the bowl back in the saucepan and return it to a medium heat, blending continuously. If it hasn't emulsified, it's either too hot or too cold. If it's too cold, place it back on the heat and continue to blend. If it's curdled, it's too hot, so take it off the heat immediately and add very small amounts of cold water bit by bit while blending. Once it started to thicken up, you can add the cocoa and salt and continue to blend. Next, add the sweetener and blend thoroughly.
The mixture should now be nice and thick. Using oven gloves, you can now transfer the fat bomb to your sink filled with cold water. Now's about when you add the vanilla and you continue to blend.
When there's no more froth and the bubbles look lovely and glossy, your fat bomb is finished. You can leave it to cool in the sink for 10 to 15 minutes. Once the mixture has completely cooled down, you can put it into containers using the spatula.
Enjoy your fat bomb.
Per serving you have 105.5 grams of fat, 3.3 grams of carbs and 8.1 grams of protein. For more information on the healing effects of the ketogenic diet, please visit sot.net.
And to find more keto-friendly recipes, please visit the Cassiopaea forum.
Links are provided below.